So of course, no sooner than I upload the video, I see the sensor tower gets updated. Let's see what the numbers said in comparison to ours. Remember, of course, we were picking extreme numbers because we wanted to make a point of just how much better a generous system is at getting players to spend than a predatory one. The real numbers are probably going to be even worse or even better in favor of Wuthering Waves systems. But let's take a look just to be accurate. Okay, so these are the numbers. Genshin did 99.4, Honkai Star Rail 50.7, Wuthering Waves 28, Zenless Zone 0 26.2. So let's go back and put those numbers in and see what our actual spending ratios are. Okay, so of course it got even worse for Genshin and HSR, slightly worse for Wuthering and Zenless, but barely noticeably. Still, the systems in Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone 0 make the average player spend more. It's ridiculously more. It's not even close. As I keep saying, I'm going to keep saying this month after month. It's never not been true since I've been tracking. Games don't need to be predatory to make a lot of money, unless the goal is just to attach status to these purchases. If these are just supposed to be luxury games, I can kind of see that. I've heard that a little bit from people I know from China. And just the culture over in East Asia, that a lot of it is about associating status. So you buy expensive things just because they're expensive. You're not trying to save money. And if you're saving money, it kind of almost, it loses your status. So maybe that's why it's not the goal of using these games to make the most revenue, but to create something of status. In that case, then yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to find other games to play, but I can understand that. But if the goal is like we think it is, to make the most revenue as possible, to get the players to spend the most, Wuthering Waves has the best system. And the same thing would, you could easily double Genshin's revenue just by being a little bit more generous. Like if the $5 pass, if you took the 50/50 off of the weapon banner and you gave enough gems in the $5 pass that people could get every single weapon, I guarantee you they probably make 2 to 3 times as much revenue each month without changing anything else about the game. That's all we're talking about. Just be more generous. It's how you make more money, if that's what they're actually trying to do. Let's just point out what the ratios would look like. Obviously, this is not a very good representation of the Wuthering Waves and Zenless population. It's not 60-1 Genshin players to Wuthering players. That's clear if you just look at the trailer views on the videos. I like using YouTube subscriber ratios as a 7-1. We're going to do an all-platform guess for Genshin. We're just going to double the Genshin number and say that that's what they have across all platforms, leading to about 200 million revenue worldwide, all platforms for Genshin in January. How would that leave Wuthering Waves and Zenless? So in January, that would mean they had 16 million players, all platforms worldwide for Wuthering Waves. That doesn't sound too insane for a game that started with 35 million pre-registrations, 2.0 and 1.4, 1.5 being the most celebrated patches in the history of the Big Four. I don't think these numbers are crazy, but these numbers are crazy for if you're making $28 a player. I would say the ideal is probably like $15 a month, right? Because that's back to the subscription days. That's what the free-to-play model was replacing. $1 a player is worse than, wow, it's worse than Final Fantasy. And yeah, if you check it, those games make a ton more than Genshin with a much smaller base just because they get $15 or $12 off of every head. That's before they start spending on other stuff. So I'm like, this model is not good for the audience. There's no reason that Genshin players shouldn't be spending at least $5, except that they completely devalue the $5 monthly pass. They completely have a worthless battle pass. All the games that make more money than Genshin on the mobile list, like Honor of Kings, they're not better than Genshin. They just have a better monetization system that's more friendly to its players, and people spend more. It would do just as well as Wuthering, if not better. If the actual point is to make as much revenue as possible, this is how you do it. See, because Wuthering is still not there yet. Get rid of the 50/50 and this number's going to go even higher. All right, so can't make that. I'm not going to, ouch, not going to run that out any further. I've said enough. Hopefully you understand. If not, I'll be back saying it again next month and the month after, because it's always going to be true. It's going to keep being true like it has been for the last 4 years. Thanks for listening. See you next month.